Cleveland Clinic, Florida provides individualized treatment plans for excellent outcomes of health problems ranging from the most common to the most complex, even in cases considered untreatable by others. Cleveland Clinic, Florida. Every life deserves world-class care.
I'm appalled at what you said on that pod thing. It's disgusting.
This is the After the Show podcast. It's where we get honest and real with yo ass. So sit back, relax, have a blast, 'cause it's time for the After the Show podcast.
Hello, here we go. One day to the weekend. Welcome to the KVJ Thursday After the Show podcast. Here we go, everybody. Got a nice little congratulations. How cool is this? Got an email from Chelsea. She said, listen to your show and podcast every day. My husband's a huge Star Wars fan. We were so excited to learn that our due date was on May 4th, Star Wars Day.
Aww.
Our little guy must have known how important that day was to his dad because he arrived on May 4th. Here is baby Lucas, like Luke Skywalker, and his lightsaber Jedi in training.
Oh, that's adorable.
Yeah, and I was looking at this because I had to go check when I got this email. So I'm like, oh, I saw this story. I wonder if they went national. There's a story in USA Today about a baby born May 4th at Memorial Medical Center in Springfield, Illinois, to a Matthew and Tamara, which is not Chelsea. And he was named Luke, and he got a national story all over the place. And look, we got our own story here.
It's adorable, and I want that lightsaber.
We need a national story. We got to get a PR team on this.
We got our own here.
You know what? Let's recreate that picture, and I'll be the baby. No?
You're just trying to get me to diaper you.
No, I'm not.
I'm not falling for that
got
again.
That baby fetish going on.
I don't want you anywhere near my butthole or balls. Let's just go ahead and get that on the record.
So congratulations there. Got a couple other headlines here where we are making some news. We had Tom in Coral Springs send us a few. Right there, you can see bird bombs are going national.
Ooh. I love it.
Bird bombs, truck driver with fish. I think that's actually bird bombs. But.
Okay, gotcha. But with that said, there are a lot of nationers out there trying the bird bombs on the weekend. Mm-hmm. They're doing the work. They're making them.
Yeah.
And the bird bombs will give you that energy, make you a little frisky. I suggest a little bird bomb before naughty time.
Oh, really?
Well,
okay.
You get the caffeine working.
Exactly.
Kind of goes right to the dick.
Yep. Everybody knows caffeine goes to your dick, Kevin.
And for women, right to the clit, right?
It's good to know. And also, Tom sent us this photo. There's companies going with Denny's moniker Big D. Big D Paving.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
Where we
wow.
lay it down.
Yeah, we're laying pipe, baby.
We like to lay down that big D, so brace yourself.
Yeah, so there you go. That's out there.
Big D. I like how they have the D in quotes. Kind of like, yeah, we're talking about dick.
You know we're talking about dick, and we know we're talking about dick.
Even though we're not really talking about dick, we're talking about dick.
Also, we had Kim, who was out and heard somebody yell the name Virginia and turned around, and there was Vicious V. So she got a quick photo there yesterday on Cinco de Mayo, Virginia, in her Mexican dress.
I went to Calaveras Cantina because I wanted to check out the Chihuahua races.
Did you see the video that Virginia uploaded last night?
The one where she was drinking and cooking, or the one where she had the necklace, the Santeria necklace from the tequila bottle that she put on?
You've seen all my content.
Oh, yeah.
The one where
I keep an eye on you guys.
She does a 45-second of her terrible Mexican accent for the entire video. The entire video, she's going.
That might have got posted after Kevin went to bed.
You didn't see that?
I haven't seen that.
Oh,
Yeah.
she doubled down on her terrible Mexican accent, and then she ends the video. She goes, "Suck it, bitches," or "Suck it," or what was it?
I was holding a plate of chorizo that looks like a penis, and so I said, "Suck it."
Oh, you got to pull it up because she does.
So because she was talking about she was hitting the tequila. Is it on TikTok or is it on one?
That
It's
one's
on
on
Facebook.
Facebook.
That's on Facebook.
It's on our KVJ Facebook. Well, it was controversial yesterday because a big fight erupted in the chat room.
It went up late. That one went up right before 10 p.m., so I was well lubricated with tequila at that point.
Okay.
And Kevin was fast asleep.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So Virginia, she kept it going.
I mean, I'm working over here. What y'all doing?
She's
yeah.
singing for her supper.
Okay. Yeah. She got to keep it going. Good heavens.
Cinco de Mayo is in full effect in our kitchen.
Ay, ay, ay.
What you got there?
Guacamole, avocado then guacamole. La pica de gallo from the padilla. I got the queso, authentic queso.
Oh, boy.
And then we got the Mexican rice. I got the ground beef. I got the chicken, the pollo, and the chorizo.
I mean, she doesn't stop.
No.
Suck it.
Suck it.
And then she says, suck it.
Yeah. There you go.
I wish I would have known what suck it was in Spanish.
My God. What the fuck, lady?
You go chupalo. Chupalo.
Chupalo.
Chupalo. Might work.
Chupalo, yay bird.
Chupalo.
Yeah, engineer Keith has called me. I said, a big fight. It was one lady crying about how dumb, and everyone was saying how dumb she was. But dog, it's a big fucking fight. Step off my shit.
We like to make stuff seem bigger than it is.
Come on.
It's a big fight.
It's a huge fight.
The one video that people seem to love, if you're on TikTok, I think it's on some other platforms too, the video where Jaybird lost his hat yesterday.
Oh,
I showed Panda that one twice.
Did we put that up?
That
Yeah,
was good, yeah.
See, dog, I'm working over here too.
That's a TikTok. That could go viral.
I'm glad you checked out my content too.
Yeah, that was a funny one. It was right on your back. Where's my hat? I can't find my hat.
Well, there was so much calamity going on in here.
No, it was the tequila.
You're right. It was
Say what it is.
You're right. I'm a fucking mess.
Good time. So
I had so much fun yesterday at work.
I wish Cinco de Mayo would land on a Friday.
Well, I think we would be dead. No, it worked. There was one year where it worked out. Either Halloween was on a Friday. That might be the Halloween drinking show.
Okay.
It happens where the holiday. That's why I love our Christmas shows, because it's the last show of the year. We can blow that bitch out.
You're right.
Yep. Well, we talked earlier. We did a raise your hand poll, and one of the questions we had was raise your hand if you've ever passed out on a toilet. I think that was Denny's who raised his hand. He's passed out on a toilet before.
Near it, but never on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, laying next to it,
Yeah, I think that's pretty standard.
whimpering.
I mean, that's tough to do. Well, are you pooping or are you throwing up?
I mean, if you have to sit there and balance and then you fall asleep, I would fall over. I just don't think I could do it.
We asked if you've ever gotten into an online fight with a listener. 80% of the KVJ show raised their hand on that. Yeah, I would probably, I've had, I guess, dust-ups. It's at least a passionate discussion.
Dickie rants.
Yeah. There's stuff. Yeah, if people come at me with something, especially if they're wrong, then, I'm like, okay, well.
Oh, I've been fighting since Wild 95.5.
Yeah.
Some people like it.
I go back. Sometimes I have to look in my old emails for something just to send you or something, and my old Wild 95.5 emails will come up. I'll either see a hate email sent or a fight that was going down. It's so funny. Memory lane.
Good times.
I think Kathy the Moo was my last legit fight.
Okay, I've seen the name before. She's very vocal on
She
our
called me out.
platforms.
I called her back out.
Okay.
Or if her friends got in at Virginia, it turned. Again, kind of like the whole, like two people were involved.
The moo brought other moos.
Yeah.
She brought some heifers.
Fucking Kathy the Moo, man, in my head.
60% of KVJ show has watched porn this week. 60%. That was Jaybird, Denny's, and Suits.
Yeah.
Standard or anything crazy?
Nothing crazy.
What kind of shit you into?
What platform you go to watch?
X videos. Sometimes there's
X.
Pornhub.
Yeah.
Took down a ton of videos.
Did they really?
Like 80 or 60% of their videos.
Why?
Because they weren't verified videos, and they wanted to stop any kind of illegal activity going
Kind of
on.
like what we were talking about, where somebody would take a video like
Exactly. Now, I think what's going to happen, they're going to review them, and they're going to most of them are going to go up.
Go back
I
up.
don't think there's a lot that are illegal, but there's enough to where they had to shut it down.
Well, and yeah, if you're faced with a lawsuit, that's typically what we've been faced with, that kind of stuff before. When you have licensing issues or a possible crime in something, the company will just tell you, be like, better safe than sorry. Get that stuff down immediately. You can defend that in a court of law, and then go from there. So
Yeah.
I get it. It makes sense. Okay, 20% of the KVJ show says that they're sexually attracted to a current co-worker. Jay Bird is the only person that raised their hand. I think part of it, I haven't really seen any other coworkers, honestly, for over a year. I mean, it's, in the course of the day, I may see, one or two females here, tops?
We had a Zoom call, though, an all-company Zoom call yesterday, so you kind of got to see everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I got to see a little bit of that.
Yeah,
We have some attractive.
of course. There's
people
definitely.
here, no doubt.
I mean, I think you could be sexually attracted to somebody and still,
Yeah.
you just can't talk about that stuff. I don't know the rules at work anymore.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
What can you say? What can you not say?
Well, if you say you have a crush on somebody at work, who do you tell?
Well, can you just say somebody's pretty, or does that go over the bounds of, you're pulling them out because of their looks and you're saying something?
If this was a year and a half ago, 2 years, you would get a shit ton of people saying you can't do it. No, I think it's kind of evened out a little bit, because remember when #MeToo first got on the scene, people you can't talk to anybody at work, and we know for a fact that people bang at work. People meet at work, but in the beginning, I think there was a big vocal outcry of you can't do that at work. And
All
I think
right,
it's
so
died down a little bit.
Let's dip our pinky toe in the pool and see if we can get you a little action at work.
You are the worst wingman ever, and you will get me canceled.
Is she single?
I don't know.
Well, can you say, because I know there's restrictions, is there anybody here that if you were single and they were single, that is attractive enough that you'd be like, yeah, I'd hit it?
Yes.
Okay. I'd say yes. There's a couple.
Oh,
Virginia?
yeah, definitely.
Would you say, if you were single and they were single, that you would say they're attractive enough that, yeah, I'd hit that?
Think about Suits.
That's why I haven't looked at porn this week, because I think about Suits.
All right. Now you're getting. That would be so fucked up.
so fucked
I would look at you. If you figured yourself to Suits, I don't know how I would be able to look.
Could you imagine that?
Yeah, she gets drunk and says, Jay Bird, guess what? I figured myself to Suits. Ah!
And the whole time she's still using that Mexican accent?
Yay, Bird. Guess what I did?
I like your French accent way better.
Well, you got to take the good with the bad. I'm sorry.
No, you're right. You're right. Yeah. Yeah. Your answer? No? Nobody? No one?
I'm going down the hall. I'm looking around. I am walking over there. I'm walking over here. I mean, it's slim pickings. I got to be honest. I mean, radio don't really
Yeah.
cut it.
Nothing's getting that thing moist down there.
I got to outsource maybe to the third floor.
You
Do
want?
they have some hotties on the fourth floor? Oh, there's a construction floor below us in this building that has some hotties.
Okay.
That's
All
not.
But
That,
nobody
that's not
that
the
we work
same.
with, yeah.
No.
Yeah, I'm not really.
Okay. Raise your hand if you think that you are funnier than at least two members of the show. 40% of the KVJ show raised their hand on that. It was Virginia and Jay Bird, and I think that if anybody should, I think it'd be you two. So I agree. That's why I can't. I think Denny's is hysterical too.
He is.
Denny's
Yeah.
is.
In fact, everybody. I think
Yeah.
everyone's
I
funny.
think Kevin
Yeah.
is too.
He is funny.
On any given day, Kevin, who's
Well,
Kenneth?
Kenneth is hilarious.
Kenneth,
he
yeah.
kills, but Kevin's very funny too.
He's my body double. He comes in here
Kenneth Ralston.
when I get tired. I tap out. Another guy who looks just like me comes in here because everybody does.
You've been doing that a lot lately. You've been mixing up your words.
I'm getting old. What the fuck you want?
Yeah. All right, thanks, Veronica.
Kenneth Ralston.
So glad my name's not Kenneth, by the
I
way.
am too.
It doesn't feel right.
It doesn't feel right.
Yeah. Yeah, it just doesn't feel like it would go well. Okay, so there you go. That's the reveal on that. Keep getting emails about paddling in schools. Really just kind of fascinating. You know, we talk about where society is and how things are set. I'm really stunned that is something that you can still do in schools, touch a child. I know most parents are not down with that. Most parents now don't want to touch their own children, much less have someone else. And there is unfortunately just so many unhinged people that are making those decisions. And I think a lot of people, they get frustrated. And then when you're angry and frustrated at a child and you're taking that physical frustration and putting it behind the power of a paddle onto a kid, you can easily cross the line into abuse. Christina said we moved up to Marianna, Florida from West Palm Beach 3 years ago, and I was flabbergasted that the high school my girls started allow paddling. At first, I thought it was a joke, but I found out it really does happen. So, of course, I had to sit down with the principal, who, by the way, later was fired for an inappropriate relationship with a student.
Oh.
I wonder if this is Marianna High School, which was right by the dorm room I lived at. It had to have been.
Probably,
Yeah.
yeah. I let him know that touching my kids would end in his death. I then had to sign a paper from the school district stating that they were not allowed to paddle my kids. The schools up here also do random drug testing, which it's not just for athletes, which I actually think is a good idea, but I'm living in a weird world up here.
When I went up there, I thought the same thing. And just the fact that I was from down south and from Palm Beach, you either sold crack or you were some kind of rich fucker that lived on the island. That's all they knew up there. And I was up there for a week, and I was just talking with this girl, and she said, "My mama told me to watch out for you." I go, "Really?" I go, "I just got into town." I go, "Oh, yeah, you're from Palm Beach." She said, "You're a bad boy."
She knew where you were from?
Her mom worked in the office, the college office. She just assumed that she had information on me, but they knew everything about it. It's weird up there. I loved it, but it was weird.
Yeah, well, you got to keep in mind, I'm from a small town, so I get that. It's very insulary. And so when anybody comes in from out of town, especially like from a bigger city, and it doesn't take much to be a bigger city. I'm from a town of 6,000. So there's a lot of towns bigger than us. So if somebody came from even a town, I remember we'd have somebody who come from a town of 25,000 seemed like a metropolis to us.
Dang, that's a big city.
So if they came from a town like that, we'd be like, oh, we got a city slicker.
Well, that's what they thought. I was a
Yeah,
city slicker.
you-
Even with I'd go to a high school football game. I was there for a week.
Yeah.
And this big fucking dragonfly. I mean, it looked like a bat. Lands on my shoulder. Go, holy shit! They go, "Oh, what's the matter, Penny? You ain't got dragonflies in Palm Beach."
Yeah.
And that was pretty much
Right.
everything. I drink something. "Oh, let me guess. They ain't got that in Palm Beach, huh, Penny? You fucking pussy." Like, that's kind of how.
You don't show weakness with farm boys.
And they loved their football. And
Oh, yeah.
they love football, and they love God and Jesus. And I remember
Yeah.
the first high school football game I went
Football,
to.
God, and guns.
It was up in Chipley, Florida, and they kept on saying, "Oh yeah, our pastor, he does all the football announces. He's great. He's so Christian." And then he left the microphone on.
Yeah.
And he goes, "Oh my gosh, that son of a bitch is going to score. Tackle the motherfucker." And it was all on the hot mic. Then you just hear, "Oh my gosh."
And in my dog.
That's
Click.
great.
But they were, why that was so
Oh,
funny
that's
was they
great.
were all bragging about, "Oh, this guy,
Yeah.
he is so pure." He's like, "Tackle
Right.
that motherfucker."
That's awesome. It's a weird dance they do in those small
It was
towns.
weird.
Yeah. Weird communities, man. It's interesting stuff.
It just seems so fake. I mean, just like, come on.
There's a lot of it that really is. It's tough. I mean, it's odd because there's a realness about people in those towns. They don't put on airs and things like that, but there is a lot of fakery that happens, and it's tough if you have different opinions. So much of America is that way now, and it can be liberal or conservative, that if you've got different ideas, that unfortunately, it's weird, man. People are very insular on both of those, polar opposites.
Well, it seems like there's not a lot in the middle. If you don't agree, that means you're dead to me, and we can't even have a burger together.
Well, there's parts of America. That's why I love being where I am. I'm caught between two worlds here, where I've got liberals to the south, conservatives to the north. I fit in right in the middle, so it's all good for me. But yeah, I couldn't. It'd be tough for me to be in an extremely liberal town and also in an extremely conservative town.
Agreed.
Because I'm a moderate guy.
Yeah.
So
Either one would drive me up a fucking wall.
It's tough. That's why I had to get out and go where I went.
I think when it happens on the extreme on either side, that's when your way of life starts to become affected because they're worried about what you're doing.
Yeah.
And you're like, look, I don't give a shit what you're doing. Leave me the fuck alone.
Those communities expect conformity.
Yes.
Typically. That's what they do. You can hide a little bit more in a liberal. Liberals are typically bigger cities, so it's easier to hide. But in the small, really conservative towns, they're like, look, this is just how we live here, and everybody falls in line, and this is what we do.
Well, you're right, though. In the small town I was, going to college with, there was all this, we go to church, and we're great people.
Yeah.
And then you find out that the woman running the dorm is doing all kinds of crazy shit that's not so, you know what I mean?
They hide behind the religion a lot in those towns, and it's tough because it makes the religion look bad. It's not the religion's fault; it's the people's fault.
Agreed.
So, but that happens typically in a lot of small towns. Santina sent this and said, "I heard y'all talking about the child paddled at school, and I've been seeing videos circulating on Facebook. This all actually started here. It was in Clewiston that it was a principal that had paddled a child, and then the mom was making the video. She had her phone hidden in her purse, I guess, or coming out of her purse. And she brought up a good point, and I don't remember, and it wasn't specific in the story, but if it's the mom who's the one filming it, then why was she not jumping in and saying something?
Well,
why would she
now,
allow it to happen?
I don't know. And now there's an investigation into that mom, and there's been some accusations about that mom and child neglect with that child and her other children. So I don't know how great of a mom that mom was. I saw the TMZ story this morning about that.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Was it she was filming her daughter, not another student? It was definitely her daughter she was filming?
I don't know.
The mother.
I think it was.
It's the mother of the 6-year-old. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Crazy stuff.
Who the hell knows?
Yeah, who the hell knows? I mean, you never know. Like, this whole school could be whacked. The principal could be whacked. The mom could be whacked. Like, all of them could be nuts.
Mm-hmm.
And let me guess, the video starts right at a time where you don't know what leads up to it?
Yeah, I haven't watched the whole video. It's too troubling for me. I can't click on it, but you can see the still shots from it, and the teacher has got a big wooden paddle and going to town on this 6-year-old's butt.
I mean, there's no excuse.
They had said the mom wasn't abusive, but I guess that's what they're looking into.
Who knows? You know what?
The investigators had a tip that the mother was neglectful, so I don't know.
Okay. Let me see here. We got an email from Victoria. This is kind of interesting because we were talking about situation we had the other day where there was a woman that had 3 kids and she wanted her husband to get a vasectomy because she finally got her body back in shape, worked really hard, loves sex. Her husband wants to continue having it. She's like, look, I don't want to take any risk whatsoever. She's like, I would be devastated. Not only is it financially irresponsible for us to have another kid, but I put in all this work, time. She had the mommy surgery too. So there was a lot that went into it.
I just don't get people who have to stay in. You have to come inside. I mean, I get it that it feels great, but I just don't understand why you just don't pull out.
So you're a pullout man.
Well, I'm just saying, if you're afraid about having kids, why are you flying so close to the fucking sun?
Yeah. He likes that Houdini move.
It's crazy. I just don't get it.
Yeah. Well, she said that just to give you a woman's perspective, like the caller you had on, I also had complicated pregnancies. I got 3 kids, but I also had 3 miscarriages. As I got older, I knew any pregnancy would be at risk for my health, and I couldn't tolerate birth control pills. And my husband and I decided a vasectomy would be the best and easiest option. since it doesn't require a hospital admission for me. And just to let you know, it was the worst decision.
Really?
The amount and consistency wasn't the issue. It was the concentration. After the vasectomy, the makeup of the semen changed and I became allergic to it. I would get horrible cramps, nausea, and infections. At first, I thought it was my body changing with age, but over time, I realized it was something more. I even consulted my doctor, who couldn't truly confirm it, but recommended I take antibiotics after sex. The infections were controllable at that point, but the nausea and cramping had no treatment. So now I traded in one pill for another, and over time, the joy of sex turned into a negative feedback, like knowing you don't want tequila after a bad binger.
Damn.
Needless to say, what we thought would be fun and free from pregnancy risk turned into us losing the joy of intimacy. And looking back, I would have tried the IUD. At least that's reversible. And of course, menopause is the ultimate cure. Now I know why retirement communities and elder care homes are so productive. You don't have to worry about anything.
I want to clear something up that's getting some traction in the chat room. Yes, you can get pregnant from a pullout. My whole thing is, why do people stay so long in there? You know what I mean? You can not cut it so close. I get that there's little swimmers in the beginning, all that. Just don't be so lazy with your pullout. I don't know.
There's a message for you.
Well, just don't ride it so close to the sun. I get it, though. People are trying to explain. You can still get pregnant from a pullout. I get it.
Yeah, that was how they used to scare us.
The pre-com. Oh, yeah. That always scared the dudes. You can get a person, you can just stick it in for a second. They can get pregnant.
Terrifying.
Which technically is right.
But do you believe it?
It's harder with like the pre-com. I'm talking about somebody that's, okay, I'm about to, and they're, I don't want to pull out yet. And then they, it's like, my gosh. And then you're shocked that someone's pregnant.
Get with it. Well, we got an email here from Jimmy. Said a few days behind, I was listening to the podcast. You were talking about there being no new movies. I want to recommend a new movie to Jaybird and Kev. It's called Nobody. It's an action film that is from the producers of John Wick and stars Bob Odenkirk.
I'm going to rent it. It's $20 right now. Bob Odenkirk is one of my favorite actors. I love it. I've heard such great things about this movie.
Really? Okay, let me know. I know it's kind of a John Wick type of revenge thing. Is that not right? Where he was maybe a hitman kind of thing, and then
it is.
Somebody kidnaps his kid.
It's got a John Wick feel to it, and he's a little bit older, Bob Odenkirk, and it works. From what I understand and from what I've read up on it, the people seem to like it.
Well, it's kind of been interesting, and I think who shattered that ceiling was Liam Neeson when they did Taken. He was an older guy, and he was still such a badass, because typically you would have these guys who did the revenge movies in their 20s, like 30s at the latest. And then you got a Liam Neeson who was probably late 40s to 50s when this came out. And it's his adult daughter that gets, thrown into that. So people are like, okay, I can believe this. This was cool to see.
I love the part, obviously, when he's, I got a certain set of Skittles and all that shit. But then at the very end, the bad guy goes, good luck. And that's how he's like, fine, bitch, how to find me. You don't scare me. Although you should be scared.
Yeah, he's coming.
He's going to find you.
That was such a good movie. I might have to go back and watch that again.
I will watch that scene. They have that scene just isolated on YouTube where she gets kidnapped and I've got a certain set of skills.
Yeah, you like that one.
I love that part.
Also said, I know Jaybird loves serial killer movies. I was wondering if he's seen Henry, Portrait of a Serial Killer, and what is everybody's favorite serial killer film?
I have seen that.
Okay.
Yes, that's an older one.
Okay.
And favorite, I kind of feel weird saying favorite serial killer. There's ones that I'm more interested in others. The ones that prey on innocent, not weak, but meaning weak is that they don't see it coming. Someone that just random, those are the ones that scare me the most. So those are the ones I'm into.
Okay.
The datelines are good, but when it's the friend killing somebody or they know, it's terrible, but it's not as creepy. That to me, that's the boogeyman stuff is what's horrifying.
The boogeyman stuff is the scariest.
You walk to the mall, never to be seen again. Like, what?
I think the Dateline stuff I can handle better.
Yeah.
Than the boogeyman stuff.
The serial killer stuff where they prey on the innocent, that's fucking horrifying. I mean, Ted Bundy, horrifying.
Yeah. So there you go. I don't really have one. I don't really watch that kind of stuff because it gets in my head, so I don't really have a favorite.
Oh, I have been thinking my ice maker has been the Night Stalker for at least 4 weeks now. So to your point, yeah, it'll get in your head.
And shout out to Justin, the computer guy. He said last year I had to have all that excess skin removed from me. He has lost 435 pounds.
Wow.
Is that unbelievable? 435 pounds.
Good for you.
He has lost. It's been quite a battle, though. He went from 415 pounds before, and at 180 pounds as of today. He had to have 6 blood transfusions from the double mastectomy, but I am enjoying my new body. Feel excellent now. So very cool.
Wow.
Congratulations to him
That's
for that.
good for you.
That is life-changing stuff.
Amen.
Yeah, so there you go. All right, well, thank you all for being here today.
Oh, man, it's over?
It's over, bro. we got one more day.
4 more mins?
Just put all your energy into tomorrow, man.
Think about how
Good.
great it's going to be when you come in here tomorrow and hopefully don't have a hangover.
I'm not drinking today.
We
I have to
can't.
get ready for my birthday weekend.
Okay.
It's true. You got a big party coming up this Saturday.
That's what I hear.
Oh.
Big stuff. We got to celebrate tomorrow then, so
Well, my birthday's on Monday, legit. It's
Yeah.
celebrate tomorrow and Monday.
Let's celebrate. Oh.
I like
I mean,
that.
it is Friday, right? It'd be
True.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love a fuck yeah, Ralston.
Okay. All right, then. Tomorrow, fuck yeah, Friday.
Cleveland Clinic, Florida provides individualized treatment plans for excellent outcomes of health problems ranging from the most common to the most complex, even in cases considered untreatable by others. Cleveland Clinic, Florida. Every life deserves world-class care.